What's up, GoBots? It's your boy Alex. You've docked at Seeker Central, the place where we take an elevated look at the Transformers TCG. We had so much fun opening up this whole box of Wave 3 War for Cybertron Siege 1 that, you know what, let's have some more fun with it. I want to take all the cards in this box and build a standard constructed deck from its contents. So we'll be doing 25 stars total and a 40 card battle deck. This is going to be a lot of fun and try to emulate a new player experience if you're just getting into the card game. So let's get over to the playmat and put some cards together and hopefully get a cool deck. We opened up some cool cards in this box, especially Sergeant Cog. You know, maybe we can play Cog with Ironhide and maybe a small character. There's so many possibilities. Let's get over to the mat and get building. Whoa, we got a lot of cards out here. And to make things a little easier, instead of just putting everything out on the mat and trying to piece through all of the different combinations, I've pulled out some things here first so that we have some place to start and this video isn't 6 hours long. So up at the top here, I kind of have 4 teams that I feel like we could build around for our single box constructed. We did pull all 3 of the Firecons. So that is a possibility. However, we don't have access to Peace Through Tyranny or Handheld Blaster, the 2 non-starred double orange cards. And given that the Firecons are so dependent on having a ton of orange in the deck, and cost 25 stars to begin with, so we can't use our full loadouts. I think, while cool that we got all 3, especially since we got the rare Cindersaur, not really what I think we need to be doing. We also pulled Raider Runamuck and Runabout, and I'm cheating a little bit in that I pulled out one of the private Smashdowns from the collection to add to this. You know, I kind of figured that if you're buying a box of Wave 3, odds are you probably have one of these release day promos. But yeah, I still don't think it's exactly what we need to do, given how little health the overall team will have. But I think it's something that could be considered. From there, I have a team of Alpha Trion, Private Red Alert, and Private Lionizer. We have a lot. The Private Lionizer is essentially here to enable the as much value from Trion and Red Alert as we can get. So making sure that we are as likely to hit Red Alert's bot mode ability, or that we hit a relevant action in Alpha Trion's bot mode ability to play. That being said, we're really limited on the number of different actions that we could play with Alpha Trion, since we're only using Wave 3 stuff, and we're only using stuff from our single box. But we did pull 2 Quartermasters in the box. And we didn't pull a lot of duplicates. We pulled a duplicate of... we got 2 backup bags, we got 2 LV Gamma disruptor launchers, 2 two-pronged attacks, 2 callous leaderships, 2 microcapacitors, 2 dampening fields, and 2 Ultra Magnus armors. But a lot of those we don't have the ability to generate a lot of value from them, whereas we do have the ability to generate value from Quartermaster. So if you'll see it, we actually have 3 teams that feature a Battle Master, because I think trying to leverage Quartermaster in our deck is a good idea. So we have the Alpha Trion, Red Alert, Private Lionizer, which I feel like is possible, but given that, again, that we're limiting ourselves to just Wave 3, I don't think it's exactly where we want to be. But lastly, we have the team of Sergeant Hound, Private Red Alert, and Private Taraxodon, as well as a full playset of Fuel Cache. That adds up to a total of 25 stars. Red Alert and the Fuel Caches are 10. Hound is 9, and Pteranodon is 6, leading a total of 25. Because we're going to be running a mixed deck anyway, just given what we have, I feel like this is a great way for us to leverage running a bunch of weapons and running bold, so we can run things like the utility orange pipped card that adds bold 1. We'll get to it when we start pulling cards out, but I think for the purposes of this build, this is what we're going to focus on first. We'll at least build this deck out, see how long it takes, and then maybe we'll build something else. We also got an Aimless, a Nightstick, and a Fire Drive as other options. Aimless I'm not really interested in, largely for the same reason that I'm not interested in the Fire Cons. Not having access to security checkpoint and handheld blasters, the double blue, improvised shield is the double orange. But anyway, not having access to those 2 cards makes me much less inclined to run Raider Aimless, because the ability of manifold ion particle blaster is just far less likely to see itself go off. I think Private Fire Drive is a good option, and if we wanted to go down to 2 copies of Fuel Cache instead of 3, I think that would be one way to go, but I kind of want to try to make Red Alert work as best we can in this. So we also pulled an Ironhide, a Captain Alita, and a Sergeant Cog. The Captain Ironhide not having access to any of the ETB weapons, like armed hovercraft, make Captain Ironhide far less good in this. Captain Alita not having access to I Still Function makes her seem less good in this context. I mean, 17 health is great, but it's an expensive transformer. And then Sergeant Cog, I just didn't feel like we could maximize the benefit of Sergeant Cog given our limited set. And we could potentially run a bunch of small transformers with Sergeant Cog, but I felt like with what we had and our lack of an ability to have the play extra upgrade, play extra action cards, like the field communicator and stuff like that, all of those upgrades that would see a lot of benefit from the heavy force defense breaker cannon abilities. We just don't have access to that stuff, so we're not getting nearly as much benefit as we could from Sergeant Cog, so I just didn't feel like it was what we wanted to do. But anyway, let's take the characters that we're for sure not going to be working with, and let's put those off to the side. I'm just not as interested. We've got all of our small characters out. Pull those off. All right. And I am going to... we'll get all of our battle cards out in a second, and we'll start building. Okay, let's get building. All right, so we have our team laid out and our fuel caches. We've got our stack of rares and then the rest of our battle cards. I also pulled out the 2 quartermasters because we're for sure going to be playing quartermaster with Private Pteranodon. So first, let's go through our rares and see if there's anything in here that we for sure want to be playing with. So first up, scavenge the battlefield. Being able to potentially move a Pteranodon or another weapon over from Hound to Red Alert or the other way around, I think is going to be a fantastic play. So let's pull the Scavenge the Battlefield. Firecon Flame just not going to play because we don't play Firecons. Let's pull the Erratic Energy Grenade as just a utility. Take cover, sideboard card, battering ram, again, is going to be a sideboard card because it's only going to be playable on Hound. Team Up Tactics, we don't have the star space. Probably not going to play a lot of special actions with secret actions with special ops missions. We don't have any 11-star characters for Energy Pack. However, Laser Cutlass, we have 2 targets for Laser Cutlass, and However, it's not adding a ton of benefit, and the one that we really want to be putting Laser Cutlass on is going to be Sergeant Hound anyway because of this +2 ability when you upgrade it. So let's put it to the side for right now. I don't think we really want it. Infiltrate. Blue secret action. We are going to need some blue cards for Private Red Alert. We're going to be running a mixed deck, so I think we could probably put Infiltrate to the sideboard right now because if we're not going up against orange, it's not what we want. No spaceships for unconventional flying object. Emergency defense field, probably not what we want to be doing. Pop a wheelie for sure, because we don't have any motorcycles. We want to be flipping more cards, especially with Red Alert, so the Gyro Blaster is absolutely what we don't want. Backup bags, not what we're looking for. Gamma disruptors, not what we're looking for. Two-pronged attack, not applicable. Same with Callous Leadership. And microcapacitor, again, dampening field, probably not what we want, as well as the Ultra Magnus armor. So, all right, all of our rares are dealt with and taken care of. We don't need to be looking at any of them anymore. Now let's start going through our commons and uncommons. So let's just kind of pick up, stack and go through kind of different things that we have access to. So for uncommon secret actions, we have Bolster and Hiding Spot. So we want to be playing upgrades onto Sergeant Hound, but we want to be doing it on our turn. So Bolster may not really be what we're looking for. However, it is an orange pipped card, which is at a premium in this set. So we may choose to run 3 copies. I have 4 pulled out because that's how many we had in the box. This is purely from this box and nothing else. We also have Hiding Spot, which I think we are going to want to run 3 copies of because we really want to try to direct damage into Private Taraxodon as much as we can to get him turned into Binary Edgewing Scythe as quickly as possible, and then going from there. So let's pull 3 copies of Hiding Spot, and we'll pull play sets of things to start with just to get things going. So we have 3 copies of Hiding Spot. Put those off. Let's not run the bolsters for the time being. Okay, for uncommon armor, we have 2 copies of Covert Armor, and we absolutely want to be playing Covert Armor because all of our characters are melee in all of their permutations. So Hound and Red Alert are melee on both sides, and Taraxodon is melee in its bot mode. So Covert Armor is a full target, but on the flip side, Sturdy Armor and Reflexive Circuits, absolutely not. Then we have Extra Padding, which is going to be 100% a 3 of. If we can play 3 extra padding onto Sergeant Hound, that's +6 attack. So you're swinging for 10 attack, and then you also have tough 3 for when you're going into your defenses. So absolutely have to run extra padding. Let's put the extra padding in with the Covert Armor. And then we have the Point Defense Systems, not interested in running that. We have Compact Shield, which we theoretically could run. We are running entirely Autobots, but it's a very marginal benefit. So let's not really worry about that. But Spinner Rims. This is one of my least favorite cards. I've made no bones about how much I dislike the flavor of this card. But it is, for what we're trying to do here, exactly fitting into our deck. So first, it's an upgrade for Sergeant Hound, so it triggers that ability. Second, it's a white pipped card for Private Red Alert and Private Taraxodon. Remember, Private Taraxodon's weapon, Binary Edgewing Scythe, reads, when the upgraded character attacks and you flip at least white, the defender's base defense becomes 0 during this battle. So if you flip 1 white, you're getting 1 more card, so that's 3 extra cards. That's making the Edgewing Scythe much more likely. It's also utility, so it can be on the same character as an Edgewing Scythe. 100% have to be playing all of them. Okay, so then we have Metal Detector and Anticipation Engine. We only have 2 copies of each, and we for sure want to be running both copies of each of them. These are card advantage upgrades that a utility in Metal Detector's case, which is going to be extra good because you have the ability to essentially double upgrade Sergeant Hound in a turn with Metal Detector. Because you could play the Metal Detector, have the ability go off. You've already gotten the +2 off of equipping Metal Detector. They have the ability to go off, and you potentially could have a Spinner Rims, which would then replace the Metal Detector on Sergeant Hound, but you'd get the extra +2, and then you'd have the ability to use the flipping your first white, because you wouldn't have flipped cards yet. So that's an interaction I really want to take advantage of. It's also a green iconed card, so you can pull it up when you need to. And Anticipation Engine is, again, a white icon card, which goes into our strategy, which allows us to play additional things. We're not going to play HV Electron Breacher. We're also not going to play Squish Them Like Bugs, because it's just not what we want to be doing. Our characters are largely small, so they're just not going to see that sort of deal. So we have Rock Toss, which I don't really think is what we want. Steady Shot is a blue that does give an attack bonus when we can play it off of Anticipation Engine. I think we'll pull them out for the time being because we don't have a lot of access to pump abilities. So let's just pull it out for the time being. Let's pull 3 copies of Device Virus out as well. We're going to be running a ton of upgrades. And so we're going to have the ability to scrap our own things if we need to get rid of 2 things on the other side. We're going to essentially be on the better end of this ability. Battlefield Scan, not interested in running. Okay. Then we have Defensive Formation and Battlefield Report. We're absolutely going to run Battlefield Report. Put that down. Because it's the secret action that we know we can get benefit from every time we play it. So it's consistency is something I like to focus on as best we can, as much as we can. Okay, defensive formation. Again, it is pretty useful all the time, but not something that I really want to be using if we don't have to. So we've gone through a lot of cards. We've gone through a fair number of cards. So let's take a quick look at how many we've pulled. See how many slots we have left, because we can run 40 cards in this build. So we have 1, 2, 3. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So we have 9 spots left with what we pulled out. And we have a fair number of cards to go through. So let's see what else we have. So we have the cards of the when this is scrapped, scrap a blank. Upgrades. So the reactive armor is when this is scrapped from a character, scrap an armor, and it itself is an armor and adds +1 defense. So that's one thing that we could run. We for sure want to be running Force Field. We're going to run all 3 copies because it is a white pipped card. So it works with Red Alert and Edgewing Scythe, and we really need to start fitting in some more orange. So let's make sure that we're running things like that. We don't really need to be running any more blue, and we have a lot of good armor with extra padding and covert armor in here, so Smoke Cloak may not be what we want to be doing. However, Basic Combat Protocol, card I mentioned earlier, we absolutely want to be running all 3 copies, because it's a utility, so it can run with Edgewing Scythe, and it adds Bolt, and it's an orange icon. All things that we want for this strategy. We probably don't need the urban camo, nor do we need the personal targeting drone. The dismantling claw, we have a lot of other ways to get rid of weapons. We don't necessarily need a dismantling claw. However, we could theoretically use a smoke thrower, but I feel like our spaces are better taken up with other items at this point. Combat Dagger is an orange pipped card, which we could probably use more orange pips, but not really what I'm thinking for right now. Medic, we don't need. Diagnosis, though. Absolutely, I want to run 3 copies of Diagnosis. Again, white pip, that's what we want. And we get the draw card clause on it, which basically means it replaces itself, which is huge. And it repairs the damage from characters, which can make all the difference given the type of format I see us running, and it's just getting into in the future. Not running a ton of action, so I don't think Brainstorm is really what we want, nor is Pep Talk, but I do think Dismantle is a potential 2 of. We might cut one of the device viruses as well when we get to there. Repurpose, I don't think we need, nor Calculated Strike, and we definitely don't want Frag Toss. It's because we're just not getting any benefit from that Frag Toss. So let's... Okay, we've gone through and we've pulled a lot of cards now. Let's take a look at how many we have again. So we have 6, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16... 16, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. So we need to make 5 cuts from these cards that we've pulled. So for sure, I think one of the cards we want to pull out is the Hiding Spot. It's a black pip, so it's not adding to our strategy, and I think that's basically what we're going to be focusing on. Device Virus is going to get cut. One of the device viruses for sure going to get cut as a result. What else could we cut that we would want to cut? I actually think... so let's see how many of the different colored pips we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 blue. So I think that's enough for Red Alert, because Red Alert's the only thing that's actually getting benefit from blue on an attack. So I think we're good on blue. Orange for the same reason. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 orange. Not great. Kind of want a little more orange. Kind of want a little more orange. I think maybe what we pull is we try to get another copy of an orange. Well, we're running play sets of everything in here that's orange. So we'd want to pull probably 2 cards out in order to get to that, and I think probably that's the 2 device viruses. If we need to get rid of specific utilities, we can bring device virus in from the board. And honestly, I'm not going to be building a specific board for this deck. Sideboarding is something that is so much benefit. You benefit so much from the fact that you have access to the entirety of a card pool as opposed to just one set. So you're just it doesn't feel like it's fruitful an exercise given the limited card pool. So all right, so we have 5, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 27, 32, 37, 41. So we'd have to make one more cut to this. What would be the one cut? It might be the Erratic Energy Grenade, because it's just kind of a superfluous card at this point. Yeah, I think so. Okay, I'm actually kind of happy with this as a fun deck. I'm gonna keep this list together and bring it out to one of our casual events and see what I can do with it, just to get some ideas. But one more time, just to make sure. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 40. The one thing I can kind of see replacing is these anticipation engines, and let's take a look and see if there's any more white in here. We didn't consider going through looking for white pips that we haven't played yet. Okay, we could do the personal targeting drone, but because it's a way to get rid of utilities. Oh man, it adds Pierce 1, which is pretty negligible. Because what actions are we playing? We're playing Steady Shot, which is good for Anticipation Engine. Battlefield Report, good for Anticipation Engine. Diagnosis and Dismantle are good for Anticipation Engine. Quartermaster, potentially good. All of our actions are potentially good with Anticipation Engine. So Dismantling Claw, not good enough. Alright, there's not a lot of white that I'm seeing that we can play. Oh, it's just that frag toss and 1 damage is just not good enough. Not being able to take advantage of the rest of it. So, I think this is where I'm going to land on for this build. So let's organize it a little bit more to get a better idea of what the cards are. So we'll keep star cards up there for the time being. Let's get all of our actions over here. Make this nice and organized. We'll go through, if you're just listening, we'll go through all of the cards that we're running. You know what? The one thing I could see cutting the Anticipation Engine for are 2 copies of Bolster. To add a little more orange into the deck. The problem is like you kind of want to be playing Bolster off of an Anticipation Engine. So yeah, let's not do that. Okay. Alright. Got all of our secret actions over here. Okay, let's do armor. Oop, we have some more actions to play. 3 copies of Steady Shot. I definitely would replace it with a Leap into Battle if I had access to it. And that's one of the cool parts of this exercise is like you can think about, all right, well, if I had access to that, I'd rather play that. All right. Anticipation Engine is actually the only weapons that we are playing. Oh, well, we have the reactive armor. Okay, so we have the reactive armor. We're playing a lot of armor, so let's see, what was the other? Dismantling Claw is a blue pip, which is that one. So let's see if there's an orange weapon that we can play in place of this reactive armor. Or we could just not play the reactive armors and play the 3 bolsters instead. Or we could play defensive formation. I think bolster is what we want to be playing because we have so many armors. So let's play the bolsters. Okay, 3 copies of bolster, and we'll pull the reactive armor out. And we're just going to be leaning pretty heavily on dismantle for our interaction. But I think we're more concerned about just attacking and getting through. So I don't think we're all that concerned about what our opponent is playing for armor and upgrades. So we have, but we're still only running. It's the combat dagger that we could run, which does... Okay, so we could run the combat dagger. It's also a black pip, which can just push damage through. Orange pipped weapons at a bit of a premium in this set, given the priorities for the limited environment, so I don't think we're really going to be able to find anything. Yeah, dismantling claw is not what we want, so I think combat dagger, I think we want the ability to play weapons more. And this does fit into our desire to play. It fits into Private Red Alert, so I think that's what we'll do. So okay, and then we have our secret actions over here. Okay. All right, so we're actually running a fair amount of black. We have both of the hiding spots, so that's 2, the 3 copies of combat dagger, 5, 2 metal detectors up to 7 there, and then 10 with the steady shot and 12 with dismantle. So given the amount of white that we're flipping, we're probably going to be doing about 2 damage a turn. We're running a pretty even spread between white, blue, and orange, so Fuel Cache actually does have the ability to go off, which is I think pretty cool, because if we can draw 3 cards off of Fuel Cache, that's going to be pretty fantastic. But if you don't have another action to play, just play the Fuel Cache, because you then cycle it into your scrap pile, which then means you can use it moving forward. It will then go into your deck the next time you shuffle. So we have the combat dagger to get added bold for the Private Red Alert, but what you really want to be focusing on is the basic combat protocol, so that you can have the Edgewing Scythe on, just make it even more likely to happen. Remember, Edgewing Scythe is a base 3 attack bonus. We have our 2 covert armors as the melee focus things. Obviously, if we had access to Wave 1 and Wave 2, we'd do a lot more stuff with the melee. I've said that a lot. I'm going to stop saying it because this is a new player experience, and I don't want to make people feel bad about not having access to other cards, because this, I think, is actually going to be a really fun deck, and I'm pretty excited to take it out to the store and see what I can do with it. So I hope you've had as much fun building this out as I have. These are super fun exercises to go through. Giving yourselves limitations on your deck building, makes you evaluate cards in a different light, and also gives you the ability to evaluate cards in new and interesting ways when you are presented with new sets. So the next time we get a new set, Wave 4, later this year, very excited about Wave 4. Curious to see what the gimmick is going to be. My prediction, going to put it on video right now, is we're going to see some sort of Headmaster, Power Master kind of things that's going to play off of the same thing as a Battle Master and Weaponizer, and we'll have the same sort of pack distribution, so that the entirety of the Siege block will have the 2 characters plus 6 battle cards. That's kind of what I'm thinking in terms of how it would make sense from both a gameplay perspective as well as a logistics perspective and game design perspective. So, all right, stay tuned, later on for some gameplay videos with this deck. I'll probably take it out to the next event and just have some fun. So until next time, GoBots, I'm your boy Alex. You've been docked at Seeker Central. And as always, go out and seek higher skies.